Well, good morning. Ira Epstein with your morning flash update. And this update is for Tuesday, the 3rd of June, 2025, just after 8:20 a.m. Central Time. So the market consolidating yesterday's gains. I wish I could say to you, oh, it's a big break today. It's not what's happening. The market tried in early evening and early morning trade to break down. You've come back 180 points off the lows. Yeah, 180 already off the lows. 31 points off the lows in the S&P. So it's not as though the markets didn't try to give back a chunk. They did, but they held on. You're giving back a little bit in the metal markets today, all the way around the corner, but nothing like the gains of yesterday. These are just minor. So the markets, what they made yesterday, they're being stingy. They don't want to give anything back on that. On the energy market, they are extending the gains in the heating oil, the gasoline, and the crude. The market that's giving back some of the gains is the natural gas. This market had a sell number, in my opinion, at the 375 level today. Interesting to see if that'll hold back the market. We are looking in the bonds and notes at yields for the first time actually coming down a little. Remember, it's an inversion market, so when futures go up, you're going down there. When we look at the currency market, most are down as the dollar has gained back a bit after getting as low as 98.52, getting very, very close to those contract lows, and has managed to come back a little bit from there. Remember, you're going to be getting the banks of Canada and the European Central Bank making their interest rate decision. I just saw the CPI numbers on the European Central Bank down really nicely. Just gives them the go-ahead. They have an open road for a quarter point cut, and I think they'll do it. I don't think Canada's going to do much of anything. In Redbook Group, we just saw the retail sales, and instead of me saying, boy, they're still staying strong, they're starting to weaken. First time I've said that in a long time. The retail sales, this number used to be 6%, and I'm talking just recently. Now you're down 1.1 from there. You've been running about 5.5% on the weekly retail sales in the first 4 weeks of each month versus the other. But you're starting to weaken when you go back a year ago. Factory order data is going to come out at 9 o'clock this morning. We're going to get the big important report, the JOLTS report, and that's going to come out at 9 also. That's where we'll look to see how many jobs are being offered, and the labor turnover gives us a pretty good idea as to this snapshot of what labor is looking like. Last month, the amount of jobs opened were 7.192 million. Obviously, if you have more than that, the market will be saying, hey, they still are hiring. If you get less like that, they'll use the word, well, the market's in balance. Doesn't appear they want to do too much. The API numbers, well, they'll come out at 3:30 this afternoon. So what you want to do is just take a good hard look at where you've been. You're in a bull market in the stock market. The question is, does it have the power to go up and make new highs, or does it come up here for distribution? And from that distribution, is it one more go? And that, I think, is an important question. Now, I'm going to be showing the advanced decline line this morning on my S&P Spider video. And when you take a look at that for the month of April, May, you're going to be surprised. You know that the markets were dropping like a rock in April, and you see that coming in on that report. But what if I tell you a new record high at the end of May? So this was a tale of two cities, as the title goes. First coming apart in April and then roaring right back. So what next? Well, they keep looking to take profit taking in the market up here, and it's met with buying. So we're getting a lot of people coming in at current levels. If the markets were to break from here, the break could be hellacious. The key is the market is looking at where we're at. Can it keep this going? That's going to be the biggest question as I see it there. Metal markets, I think they're going to be well bid on breaks, and the reason is nothing is changing. There's no deal between Iran and the U.S., nothing between Israel and Hamas, and in Ukraine and Russia, that thing's going nowhere. So President Trump's got his hands full. What's going to happen? And there is word out of the White House that they're hoping to have another announcement, maybe some deal trade to talk about as soon as tomorrow. I'm Ira. Take advantage of all this by going to our website.